Tax that was passed by the House last week in the wake of anger over bonuses to AIG executives. But one congressman wants tougher legislation to curb excess compensation for executives at companies receiving federal bailout money. Congressman Brad Sherman wants a surtax on all compensation, not just bonuses. The congressman joins us tonight from Capitol Hill. Congressman, good to have you with us.
Good to be with you. I'll be introducing a different kind of tax bill tomorrow that will focus on compensation in excess of $1 million, whether it's salary or bonuses, and we'll see if I'm able to pass it.
Well, at this point, do you have any co-sponsors?
We have about 5 co-sponsors, yeah.
So it's the beginning here, and it's a test that's going to be very uncomfortable for corporate America, because as you know, that relationship between the average pay of a median employee in corporate America versus that of the CEO has risen from 35 years ago, just about 30 times, to now just about 350 times that average employee salary for a CEO. In other words, a CEO making in one day what the average employee is making in a year. You expect to address that in the issue, at least where the issue is federal taxpayer dollars?
Yeah, only where we're dealing with companies that would be frankly in receivership if it wasn't for the federal bailout. I'm not going after all of corporate America here. I think capitalism works pretty well when it's capitalism, but what we have here with the bailed out banks is not capitalism, and when the government owns the enterprise, we shouldn't see compensation in excess of $1 million a year, except my bill will allow for restricted stock that the employee can't get a penny out of until after the federal government has been fully repaid.
Now, that's quite an interesting bet for any employee to make.
Well, they get $1 million. Under my bill, they can get up to $1 million in cash, right, and that seems to be more than sufficient.
Yeah, you would think. Well, you sparred with the Treasury Secretary yesterday over the transparency regarding compensation. Let us share quickly with our audience that exchange between you and the Secretary. Here we go.
The American people should be blindsided and find out about bonuses on a Saturday that are about to be paid on a Sunday. Can you give us a chart for each TARP recipient?
We'll reflect on the suggestion you made and see if that is a reason.
In other words, you won't commit to telling the American people how many folks at Goldman Sachs or AIG are going to make $1 million this year.
Congressman, I will think carefully about your proposal.
Thank you for thinking. Let me move on.
Did you find the Treasury Secretary to be a bit, snitty and snarky there?
Well, I was cutting him off. We only get 5 minutes, and so I was a little bit abrupt with him, and had to be because I had several other questions to ask. We were able to move a bill through the Financial Services Committee today that had an amendment of mine that would compel by law the very information that I was trying to get out of the Secretary yesterday, and that is statistical information. I don't want anybody's names. Right. I don't want bus tours of their homes. I just want to be able to say, this is the number of Goldman Sachs executives who made more than $3 million last year.
Let's turn to well, in December, you also sparred with Neil Kashkari, the former Goldman Sachs executive, charged with managing the TARP, I love that name, Toxic Asset Recovery Program. You say Congress required Treasury to set executive compensation standards in the law mandating that program. Let's watch and listen.
Congressman, we have imposed on AIG new corporate governance standards, executive compensation standards.
So you think that, do your standards prevent the payment of a $3 million bonus?
I do not believe that they specifically prevent a payment of.
So have you,
Congressman, the people running this program, and Kashkari's still there, right?
Yes, he's a holdover from the Bush administration.
Well, you can
and
see
frankly,
why they'd be big fans of him. He's done such a boffo job. But there's no avoiding responsibility here. The government, the executive branch knew precisely what was going on throughout, and certainly the Treasury Secretary, who was the president of the New York Fed at the time, was fully a part of that effort, was he not?
Well, I don't think until just before it broke that they understood the particulars and got a real visual image as to what effect it would have on the American people. When I was asking Kashkari those questions, I specifically asked about $3 million bonuses to AIG executives, and I wasn't talking about old contracts. I was talking about they just decide to give a guy voluntarily $3 million or even $30 million.
A performance bonus.
Yeah, or whatever, a retention bonus, an employee of the week bonus. I think that, look, everybody in Washington knew that there were going to be huge payments to executives at AIG, but the fact that there were some bonuses as much as $6 million to the very unit that had destroyed the company and hurt the economy, that might have been new information to Geithner that he picked up just a couple days before he shared it with us.
Congressman Brad Sherman, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.